The first alien fleet arrived quietly, not with fire or conquest, but with immaculate geometry drifting into Earth orbit like a thought made solid. Ships, shaped in impossible curves, arranged themselves above the planet with mathematical grace, reflecting sunlight in colors no human spectrum had ever catalogued. For 17 minutes the world held its breath, satellites tracking every movement, militaries waiting for orders that never came. Then every screen on Earth flickered at once. From phones in subway tunnels to televisions in remote villages, a being appeared, tall and luminous. Its form wrapped in layered energy fields that pulsed with calm authority. It spoke without sound, yet everyone understood. Its voice carried directly into the mind, gentle and confident. "We are the Varelian Concord," it said. "Guardians of developing worlds, we have come to offer protection." Governments reacted instantly. Emergency councils convened. Defense systems raised to readiness. Religious leaders prayed. Scientists stared in stunned silence. The Varelian continued, explaining that humanity had reached a dangerous threshold. Nuclear weapons, artificial intelligence, planet, industry, all markers of a species approaching self. They claimed to have seen this pattern before, countless times across the galaxy. Worlds that burned themselves out in war, poisoned their skies, or unleashed technologies they could not control. "We intervene," the Varelian said. "We shield your planet from external threats, regulate your most dangerous advancements, and ensure your survival as a species. In return, Earth would accept oversight, limits on military expansion, restrictions on deep space exploration, and guidance from the Concord." It was presented not as domination, but as stewardship, a gift. The reaction was not what the expected. There was no panic in the streets, no universal celebration, no immediate surrender of authority. Instead, something stranger happened. People laughed, not everywhere, not all at once, but in living rooms, online forums, late-night talk shows, and military briefing rooms. A shared incredulous humor spread like wildfire. Memes appeared within minutes, alien guardians photoshopped into babysitter outfits, headlines joked about cosmic hall monitors. Even world leaders, after the initial shock, exchanged glances that carried a very human expression. The Concord noticed the anomaly immediately. Statistical models predicted fear, relief, or aggressive resistance, not amusement. Confusion rippled through their collective consciousness. Finally, the being on the screen paused, its glow dimming slightly. "Clarify," it requested. "Why does this proposal elicit mirth?" Humanity's answer would not come from a general or a president. It would come from a single question. One simple, devastatingly honest question. The question came from an unexpected place. Not a head of state, not a decorated admiral, but a systems engineer, live streaming from a cluttered apartment filled with half-disassembled electronics. Her name trended globally within minutes. But, at the time, she was just a tired human with a microphone, and a thought she could not ignore. She leaned toward the camera and spoke. "Hey, Guardians," she said, scratching her head. "Quick question before we agree to anything." The world went silent. The Varelian representative inclined its head, granting permission. The woman took a breath. "Who are you protecting us from?" The question echoed across the planet and into orbit. In command centers, analysts froze mid-note. In alien ships, cognitive arrays spiked with unexpected error. "States," the Varelian answered smoothly at first. "From hostile civilizations, predatory species, expansionist empires, existential cosmic threats." Images appeared. Civilizations reduced to ash, cities cracked by orbital bombardment, worlds consumed by machines or devoured by stellar phenomena. The engineer nodded slowly. "Okay," she said. "Follow-up question." A few people laughed nervously. "If all that stuff is real," she continued, "why hasn't any of it come here already?" The Concord hesitated. "Just a fraction of a second too long. Your system is considered undesirable," the alien replied. "Your world is classified as high-risk death world conditions, unstable biosphere, aggressive dominant species." That was when the laughter really started. Not mocking, not dismissive, but something closer to recognition. The engineer smiled, not unkindly. "So let me get this straight," she said. "The galaxy is full of monsters, conquerors, and cosmic horrors." "Yes," the Varelian confirmed. "And none of them want to mess with Earth." A pause. "Statistically, yes." The engineer leaned back in her chair. "Then what exactly are you protecting us from?" Across Earth, veterans exchanged looks. Scientists pulled up classified simulations, Historians remembered stories humanity rarely told outsiders. The Varelian began recalculating, projections shifting rapidly. They had assumed humanity was naive, unaware of the wider universe. They were wrong. Humanity did not fear the dark. Humanity had grown up fighting it. The Concorde initiated a deeper analysis, accessing restricted archives normally reserved for crisis evaluation. What they found unsettled them. Earth was not unknown. It was flagged, annotated, and surrounded by warning symbols in databases older than the Concorde itself. Not because humans were powerful in the conventional sense, but because they were unpredictable. Records showed early probes that never returned. Listening posts that picked up human broadcasts and quietly shut themselves down. Pirate factions that boasted of raiding death worlds, only to vanish after targeting. Soul. One entry stood out, a transmission intercepted centuries ago, a human warship, badly damaged, adrift near a disputed system, surrounded by hostile vessels. Instead of surrendering, the humans had transmitted a simple message: "We are already dead. How many of you want to join us?" No survivors were recorded. The Varelian began to understand. Humanity did not rely on fear to survive. They relied on spite, ingenuity, and a terrifying willingness to escalate beyond rational limits. On Earth, the engineer's question had sparked a global conversation. Historians pointed out that humans had never been the strongest species on their own planet, yet they dominated it. Scientists explained how humans routinely handled radiation, pressure, toxins, and environments that killed most life. Military analysts quietly noted that Earth's true deterrent was not its weapons, but its doctrine. Humans fought wars, assuming loss. They planned for failure and kept fighting anyway. The Concorde attempted to regain narrative control. "We offer stability," the Varelian said. "Guidance. Survival without suffering." A human diplomat finally responded officially. Calm and polite. "We appreciate the concern," he said, "but you misunderstand something fundamental." He gestured to a screen showing Earth, scarred but alive. "We are not endangered children. We are the reason this neighborhood has been quiet." Silence followed, heavy and absolute. The Concorde's models collapsed, projections flipping from protector to liability. If humanity accepted protection, it would not be because they needed it. It would be because they allowed it. That realization terrified the galaxy more than any weapon ever could. The official response took 3 days to finalize, not because humanity could not decide, but because they wanted to choose their words carefully. Every nation signed, every culture weighed in, every argument aired and resolved. When the message was transmitted, it was simple. To the Varelian Concorde, it began: "Thank you for your offer." The aliens waited, anticipating conditions, concessions, bargaining. Instead, the message continued: "We decline." There was no hostility in the refusal, no threat, no bravado, just clarity. Earth has survived ice ages, extinctions, plagues, and itself. We have made mistakes and paid for them. We will make more and pay again, but they will be ours. The message acknowledged the dangers beyond Earth. It acknowledged that someday, something might come that humanity could not stop. And when that day comes, it concluded, we will face it the same way we face everything else. Together, stubbornly, and without asking permission, the Concorde withdrew its ships slowly, almost respectfully, around the galaxy. Alerts were updated, classifications revised. Earth's status changed from developing world to unaligned deterrent. Trade routes adjusted, war plans quietly deleted, not because humans were invincible, but because they were inconvenient to fight, impossible to intimidate, and catastrophic to underestimate. Years later, a young Varelian scholar would ask her mentor why the Concorde never returned to Earth. The elder would answer carefully: because they did not ask for help, and because the only species more dangerous than a conqueror is one that laughs when you offer to protect it. On Earth, life went on, messy, loud, imperfect. Humans argued, invented, explored, and dreamed of the stars. And somewhere, out there, the galaxy learned a quiet lesson. Earth did not need guardians. Earth was the warning.